For more than 2,000 years, it lay hidden beneath the sea, forgotten, buried, waiting. When divers discovered it, they thought it was nothing more than a broken piece of metal. They were wrong. What they found would challenge everything we thought we knew about the ancient world. A machine so advanced that it should not have existed. This is Ancient Whisper, where forgotten histories speak. And this is the story of the ancient machine that shouldn't exist. The year was 1900. A group of sponge divers sailing through the waters near the Greek island of Antikythera sought shelter from a storm. What they discovered beneath the waves would become one of the greatest archaeological mysteries in history. Wearing heavy copper diving suits, the men descended into the dark waters below. Visibility was poor. The ocean floor remained hidden beneath shadows and drifting sediment. Then one diver saw something extraordinary. Scattered across the ocean floor were ancient treasures, bronze statues, marble figures, pottery, jewelry, the remains of a ship that had sunk nearly 2,000 years earlier. The divers had stumbled upon an ancient shipwreck. The wreck appeared to be a Roman-era merchant vessel. Historians believe it sank sometime around the 1st century BC. For nearly 2 millennia, its cargo remained untouched, protected by the sea, hidden from the world. News of the discovery quickly spread. The Greek government organized a recovery operation. Divers returned again and again, bringing priceless artifacts to the surface. Statues emerged from the sea. Fragments of history returned to daylight. Among the recovered objects was something that seemed unremarkable, a small corroded lump of bronze, crusted with centuries of mineral deposits. No one paid much attention to it at first. Months later, museum staff noticed something unusual. The object had cracked open. Inside were gears, dozens of tiny bronze gears, ancient gears, and that made no sense. Historians knew of simple gears in the ancient world, but nothing like this. The complexity seemed impossible. Who built it? Why was it made? And how had such advanced technology appeared more than 2,000 years ago? The discovery raised more questions than answers. The mechanism appeared to be a machine, but no one understood what it did. For decades, researchers struggled to unlock its secrets. The mystery had only just begun. As experts examined the artifact, a startling realization emerged. This was not a simple tool. It was not a decorative object. It was a machine of extraordinary sophistication. And if its true purpose could be understood, it might force historians to rewrite part of human history. The gears were real. The machine was ancient. But what was it designed to do? The answer would shock the scientific world, because this strange artifact was far more advanced than anyone imagined. For years, the Antikythera Mechanism sat in museum collections, its secrets locked behind layers of corrosion. Researchers could see fragments of gears, but they could not see the complete machine. The answers remained trapped inside, waiting. As scientists examined the fragments, they made an astonishing discovery. The machine contained dozens of precision-cut bronze gears, each one carefully designed, each one connected to a larger system. This was not random craftsmanship. It was engineering. The more researchers studied the mechanism, the more remarkable it became. Its gears were arranged with incredible precision. The design suggested a level of technological sophistication previously thought impossible for the ancient world. Then came another breakthrough. Tiny inscriptions were discovered on the fragments. Ancient Greek text, instructions, labels, clues left behind by the machine's creators. The mechanism was beginning to speak. Many inscriptions were hidden beneath corrosion. To uncover them, scientists turned to modern technology. Advanced imaging techniques allowed researchers to see inside the mechanism without damaging it. For the first time in centuries, hidden details emerged. X-ray imaging revealed an astonishing network of gears hidden within the fragments. The mechanism was far more complex than anyone had imagined. Every new scan uncovered another piece of the puzzle, and every piece deepened the mystery. At first glance, the machine resembled a clock, but it was not measuring hours. It was tracking something much larger, something far beyond ordinary timekeeping, the movements of the cosmos itself. Researchers eventually reached a startling conclusion. The Antikythera Mechanism was a calculating machine, a device capable of predicting astronomical events. Many experts would later describe it as the world's first analog computer. Nothing of comparable complexity would appear again for more than 1,000 years. That fact stunned historians. How had ancient engineers created something so advanced? And why did the technology seemingly disappear? The Antikythera mechanism was not merely a machine. It was a model of the universe, a device designed to track celestial cycles with astonishing accuracy. But its most incredible capabilities were only beginning to be understood. The machine could predict celestial events, track the movements of heavenly bodies, and model the cosmos with astonishing precision. But the deeper scientists looked, the more impossible it seemed. Imagine holding the Antikythera mechanism in your hands. On the side of the device was a simple handle. Turn it slowly. The gears begin to move. Dials rotate. Pointers shift. And suddenly, the machine begins to reveal the motions of the heavens. One of the machine's functions was to track the movement of the sun across the sky. As the gears turned, the device calculated the sun's position throughout the year. A remarkable achievement for a machine built more than 2,000 years ago. The moon was even more challenging. Its motion is complex and constantly changing. Yet the Antikythera mechanism could track it with astonishing accuracy. The machine accounted for subtle variations in the moon's orbit, an engineering achievement centuries ahead of its time. The mechanism did not simply track where the moon was. It also showed what the moon would look like. New moon, half moon, full moon. The changing phases could be predicted through the movement of its gears. Then came one of the machine's most astonishing abilities. It could predict eclipses, solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, events that many ancient cultures viewed with fear and wonder. The Antikythera mechanism could calculate to predict eclipses. The machine relied on a cycle known today as the Saros cycle, a repeating pattern used to forecast when eclipses would occur. The fact that ancient engineers encoded this knowledge into bronze gears is extraordinary. The Antikythera mechanism was far more than a calculator. It was a mechanical model of the universe as understood by the ancient Greeks. A miniature cosmos built from bronze. A machine that transformed astronomy into motion. Every gear represented knowledge. Every rotation represented understanding. The machine transformed mathematical concepts into something visible, something tangible, something that could be held in the hand. When modern scientists fully understood what the mechanism could do, many were stunned. This level of precision should not have existed in the ancient world, at least according to everything historians once believed. The machine's capabilities were astonishing, but they created an even larger question. If ancient engineers could build something this advanced, what other technologies have been lost to history? The Antikythera mechanism could predict eclipses, track the sun and moon, and model the heavens. But who built it? Who possessed the knowledge to create such an extraordinary machine? To answer that question, we must travel back to ancient Greece. To understand the Antikythera mechanism, we must travel back more than 2,000 years. Back to a world of philosophers, mathematicians, astronomers, and inventors. A world where curiosity was celebrated, and where some of history's greatest minds were changing humanity's understanding of the universe. Ancient Greece was experiencing an intellectual revolution. Thinkers questioned old assumptions. They measured the earth, mapped the stars, explored mathematics, and sought to understand the hidden laws governing the universe. One name appears repeatedly in discussions about the mechanism: Archimedes, widely regarded as one of the greatest inventors in history. His work demonstrated an extraordinary understanding of mathematics and mechanics. Some researchers have wondered whether his ideas influenced the creation of the machine. Another clue points toward the island of Rhodes, a major center of astronomy, navigation, and scientific learning. Some historians believe the Antikythera mechanism may have been built there. If true, it would place the machine at the heart of one of the ancient world's greatest scientific communities. The machine required an astonishing understanding of celestial motion. Its creators knew the cycles of the sun, the moon, and eclipses, knowledge gathered through centuries of careful observation. The Antikythera mechanism transformed abstract mathematics into physical motion. Equations became gears. Calculations became rotating dials. The machine converted knowledge into machinery, a remarkable achievement for any era. Brilliant ideas alone were not enough. The mechanism also required exceptional craftsmanship. Its gears had to be cut with precision, its components carefully assembled, its design executed with extraordinary skill. The existence of the mechanism raises a fascinating possibility. Perhaps it was not unique. Perhaps it was one example of a larger tradition of advanced engineering, a tradition that has largely disappeared from history. One of the greatest mysteries is the absence of similar machines. If engineers could build the Antikythera mechanism, where are the others? Were they destroyed? Lost? Melted down? Or do they still wait to be discovered? The name of the machine's creator has been lost to history. No signature survives. No definitive record remains. The inventor may have changed human history. Yet today, we do not even know their name. The machine was real. The knowledge was real. The craftsmanship was real. But what happened next may be the greatest mystery of all, because technology this advanced seemed to vanish from history. The Antikythera mechanism presents historians with a troubling question. If ancient engineers could create technology this advanced, why didn't it change the world? Why didn't machines like it become common? Why does history seem to fall silent? Nothing quite like the Antikythera mechanism appears again for over 1,000 years. The precision gears, the astronomical calculations, the mechanical complexity, all seem to vanish from the historical record. The gap is astonishing. One possibility is that the mechanism was unique, a masterpiece created by an exceptional inventor, a machine so rare that only a single example existed. If so, its loss would explain why the technology disappeared. But another possibility is even more fascinating. What if the Antikythera mechanism was not unique at all? What if it belonged to a larger family of machines? Machines that have simply not survived the passage of time. History often gives the illusion of continuous progress, but knowledge can be fragile. Libraries burn, empires collapse, records disappear, and sometimes entire technologies are forgotten. As the ancient Mediterranean world changed, many intellectual centers declined. Wars reshaped nations. Trade networks weakened. Institutions that preserved knowledge struggled to survive. The environment that had produced remarkable inventions began to disappear. The knowledge behind the Antikythera mechanism may not have vanished instantly. Instead, it may have been scattered, fragments preserved in different places, pieces of understanding carried across generations, never entirely lost, yet never fully preserved. Centuries later, mechanical clocks would emerge in medieval Europe. Precision gears would return. Complex mechanisms would once again appear. But by then, the creators of the Antikythera mechanism had long been forgotten. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism forced historians to reconsider old assumptions. Technological history was not as simple as once believed. The ancient world may have been more advanced than we imagined. The mechanism offers a glimpse into a forgotten chapter of human ingenuity, a reminder that history still contains surprises, and that some of our greatest discoveries may still be waiting beneath the earth or beneath the sea. The machine predicted eclipses, modeled the cosmos, and challenged everything historians believed. But how accurate was it? Could an ancient device truly rival modern calculations? For decades, the Antikythera mechanism remained a mystery. Scientists could see fragments. They could study gears. But they still needed to answer one critical question. Did the machine actually work? To find out, researchers would have to rebuild it. The task was far from simple. The original mechanism survived only in fragments. Many pieces were missing. Researchers had to combine archaeology, mathematics, engineering, and astronomy to recreate what had once existed. Modern imaging technology transformed the investigation. Powerful scanners revealed hidden gear teeth, invisible inscriptions, and mechanical relationships buried inside the artifact for centuries. For the first time, the machine could be studied in extraordinary detail. Using the new data, researchers created working models. As the gears turned, predictions began to emerge. Positions of the sun, movements of the moon, astronomical cycles recorded with surprising precision.
Look,
The results
the
astonished
alignment
experts.
matches the chart
The machine was not merely
exactly.
symbolic. It was functional.
stellar
The calculations
coordinates are
worked. The
stabilized.
engineering worked. The ancient device
works.
performed
It
exactly
actually
as its
works.
creators intended. The reconstructed mechanism accurately modeled celestial cycles known to ancient astronomers. It could predict lunar phases, track eclipses, and represent complex astronomical relationships through a system of gears. What impressed researchers most was not simply what the machine did. It was how it did it. Its designers translated mathematical knowledge into mechanical motion, a feat requiring both scientific understanding and extraordinary craftsmanship. Again and again, scientists reached the same conclusion. The Antikythera mechanism was centuries ahead of its time. Its sophistication rivaled technologies that would not appear again until the medieval period. Every successful reconstruction strengthened the same message. The ancient world possessed capabilities that modern history had underestimated. The Antikythera mechanism was forcing historians to rethink the limits of ancient science. What once seemed impossible had become undeniable. The machine was real. Its abilities were real. Its creators were real. And yet one final mystery remained. Why was this knowledge lost? The machine worked. Its predictions were accurate. Its engineering was extraordinary. But perhaps the greatest mystery is not how it worked. It's how humanity forgot it ever existed. The Antikythera mechanism worked. Its gears turned. Its calculations were accurate. Its design was brilliant. And yet, somehow, the world forgot it. For more than 1,000 years, no record of a machine quite like it appears in history. It was as if the invention had simply vanished. History is often described as a story of progress, but progress is not always permanent. Civilizations rise, civilizations fall, and sometimes knowledge falls with them. The ancient Mediterranean world experienced enormous upheaval. Wars reshaped borders. Empires weakened. Trade routes shifted. Institutions that once protected learning struggled to survive. The environment that produced extraordinary inventions began to disappear. Machines like the Antikythera mechanism required more than knowledge. They required skilled craftsmen, workshops, teachers, apprentices. If those networks disappeared, the technology itself could disappear with them. For generations, the machine's knowledge may have survived in fragments. A calculation here, an observation there. But eventually, the complete picture was lost. The gears stopped turning. The tradition faded. The silence grew. The Antikythera mechanism itself spent nearly 2,000 years beneath the sea, protected by chance, hidden from human eyes. Had the shipwreck never been discovered, the machine's existence might still be unknown today. And that raises an unsettling possibility. If one machine survived by accident, how many others were lost forever? How many inventions vanished without leaving a trace? How many discoveries disappeared before history could record them? The Antikythera mechanism reminds us that history is incomplete. What survives is only a fraction of what once existed. Entire chapters may be missing. Entire achievements forgotten. Entire stories waiting to be rediscovered. Across 2,000 years, the mechanism delivers a message. Do not underestimate the ancient world. Its people observed, calculated, experimented, invented, and achieved far more than many once believed possible. The more we learn about the Antikythera mechanism, the more extraordinary it becomes. Not because it answers questions, but because it creates new ones. Questions that continue to challenge historians, engineers, and scientists to this day. For centuries, people believed the ancient world was technologically primitive. The Antikythera mechanism shattered that belief. But what does it tell us about the true capabilities of ancient civilizations? The answer may change how we view history itself. For generations, history books painted a simple picture of technological progress. Ancient civilizations laid the foundations. Later civilizations built upon them, and technology steadily advanced through time. The Antikythera mechanism challenged that narrative, because it revealed that history is rarely so simple. The machine demonstrated a level of engineering sophistication few expected from the ancient world. Its precision gears, its mathematical design, its astronomical calculations, all pointed toward capabilities that had been underestimated for centuries. The discovery forced historians to look again at the scientists of ancient Greece. These were not merely philosophers discussing ideas. They were observers, engineers, mathematicians, inventors, people capable of transforming knowledge into technology. The mechanism revealed that some ancient knowledge had survived only in fragments. Texts hinted at advanced theories. Historical records mentioned remarkable inventions. But the machine provided physical proof. Proof that sophisticated technology truly existed. One lesson stands above all others. We should be cautious when judging the past. History often preserves only a fraction of what once existed. The absence of evidence is not always evidence of absence. For nearly 2,000 years, the sea protected the mechanism. Had the shipwreck remained undiscovered, we might still believe that such technology never existed. A single artifact changed our understanding of history. And that raises a profound question. If one discovery could transform history, what other discoveries remain hidden? What technologies lie buried beneath deserts, forests, mountains, and oceans, waiting to be found? At its core, the Antikythera Mechanism is not merely a story about gears. It is a story about people. People who looked at the stars, asked questions, searched for answers, and built something extraordinary. The machine forms a bridge between worlds, between ancient and modern science, between forgotten knowledge and rediscovered understanding, between the people who created it and us. The deeper we explore the past, the more we realize how much remains unknown. History is not a completed story. It is an unfinished investigation, and the Antikythera Mechanism is one of its greatest clues. A machine built more than 2,000 years ago, lost beneath the sea, rediscovered by accident, and powerful enough to change our understanding of history. But its greatest legacy may be the lesson it leaves behind. The Antikythera Mechanism is often called the world's first analog computer, but it is more than a machine. It is a message sent across more than 2,000 years. A reminder that human curiosity has always driven us to understand the universe. The people who built this machine lived in a world without electricity, without computers, without modern science. Yet they looked toward the heavens and asked the same questions we ask today. How does the universe work? What patterns govern the stars? Can the future be predicted? Every great discovery begins with curiosity, a willingness to question, to investigate, to challenge accepted beliefs. The Antikythera Mechanism exists because someone refused to stop asking why. For centuries, the machine was lost, hidden beneath the sea, forgotten by history. Yet its story survived, and through its rediscovery, the voices of its creators speak once again. The mechanism also teaches a warning. Knowledge is precious, but it is fragile. Without preservation, even extraordinary achievements can disappear. History is filled with ideas that were lost before future generations could inherit them. Perhaps the most fascinating question remains unanswered. If this machine survived by chance, what else has been lost? How many inventions vanished without a trace? How many discoveries are still waiting beneath the earth or beneath the sea? The Antikythera Mechanism reminds us that history is not finished. New discoveries continue to emerge. Ancient mysteries continue to challenge assumptions, and the past continues to surprise us. Across 20 centuries, the mechanism connects us to its creators, their hopes, their intelligence, their determination to understand the cosmos. Though separated by time, we are united by the same curiosity. Once considered impossible, once forgotten, once buried beneath the sea, the Antikythera Mechanism now stands as one of the greatest archaeological discoveries ever made, a symbol of human ingenuity, and a reminder that history often contains the unexpected. For more than 2,000 years, the sea guarded a secret, a machine that should not have existed, a machine that challenged history, a machine that proved the ancient world was capable of far more than we once imagined. And perhaps its greatest lesson is this: the past is not as simple as it seems. Beneath the surface of history lie forgotten wonders, waiting to be discovered. What do you think? Was the Antikythera Mechanism a unique invention, or evidence of a lost technological tradition? Share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more ancient mysteries, lost civilizations, forgotten inventions, and untold stories. Ancient Whisper, where forgotten history speaks.